What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Unfiltered Truth. I am your host, Phil Robinson. With me, as always, my brother from another mother, the immortal, the incomparable, the almighty, and all-knowing Phil motherfucking Jones.
Good evening, motherfuckers. How you doing?
Said, well, we are... Thank you. I appreciate you, brother, man. Please, as always, follow suit. Donate to the show page here. And if, as always, if you feel up to it and generous
No.
enough,
You gotta donate not to his Me Foundation. This Me Foundation, okay?
Listen, you need to start your own, brother. That's all you got to do is just start your own, and we'll be all right.
Y'all can look. Y'all can hit my tip jar on my Twitter page. All right. Go on and hit the tip jar and send me a donation.
Bless it.
So, fuck all this shit, bro. Let's get right into it.
Broken promise.
Yeah. As the news has been reported, as me and Robinson have been on it all fucking day, damn long, Davante Adams will no longer be wearing the silver and black. This shit has been going on for a very long fucking time. I know some people can jump and say that, oh, this is coming from wide receivers on that Netflix show. Oh, bullshit.
Went past that.
Way past that shit. When I say get a fucking quarterback, you got to have a fucking quarterback. It started with that shit. So the plan was get yourself a top tier quarterback to draft when you moved on from his buddy, Derek Carr. The last regime failed then. Frustration. You're already getting frustrated. Now then you can go on and lead into bits and pieces of wide receivers. Or what was it? Receivers for Netflix. This regime fucks up again. Don't give me no fucking quarterback. Now this would have icing just Phil. Do you want me to just go on and just give them the icing? The first layer of the icing.
Oh, you got to build it up. We're 4 minutes into the show. You got to build it up a little bit more than that. We can't just come right out and say it. I mean, that's what everybody wants to hear, the icing.
Shit. We could do it like that. We can also say that, did not like the same quarterback situation again. Did for both. So, even though you heard hoorah for Aiden, ain't all there. Even though you heard the hoorahs for Gardner, it wasn't all there. So again, this man has been fucked in the ass.
By somebody other than
No Diddy, but almost close like Diddy. Without the lube or the baby oil by this front office. A second time.
organization, or because it's a different front office. You've had three technically,
Yeah.
three front offices, three head coaches. Excuse me, two head coaches, three offensive coordinators, six quarterbacks. It's been a shit show. This man was subjected to the bait and switch, and they promised him all of this to get him over to come over to ask for got the trade, brought him over, and just completely reneged on everything that they said they were going to do. In addition to that, because it's one thing to go back on everything that you say you're going to do, but when you have an opportunity to address your issues in the draft, and he's brought some guys that he feels could get it done, and you trot out Jimmy, Brian Hoyer, and AOC, that's telling him basically, fuck you, you're going to do whatever we tell you to do.
No, it's really a punch in the face.
And hold on, let me finish. So in response to this, fuck you, since 2022, he's put up 23 receiving touchdowns, which is the most in the NFL, with these six quarterbacks who have been a combination of good to subpar, to say the least.
Subpar quarterbacks.
And that was being maybe even kind.
Nah, fuck that. They were trash. You got Garoppolo, aka Garoppolo from Bunny Ranch, throwing terrible hospital passes, worse than he throwing out VDs. Shit. Brian Hoyer, motherfucker, look like he's somebody that came off of out of Eastern Europe, fucking trafficking people and shit. Motherfucker looked like he didn't know what the fuck he was doing out there at quarterback. This motherfucker couldn't get his shit going. And then you got Aiden O'Farber. God bless that child. You know, it ain't really his fault. It ain't his fault. But to think that this man's supposed to be the great hope that you guys truly actually believe in, I'm sorry, but you guys are really smoking that blue sky from Breaking Bad. That's strong ass crystal meth. And Steady, motherfucker, where the fuck is Steady at in Denver? Is Steady starting? No. So you gave this motherfucking guy multiple has-been fucking quarterbacks.
6.
That's why I said multiple.
I have the exact number.
You want to say 6? Okay, we can go and say 6. 6 shitty ass quarterbacks. Where in reality,
Derek Carr,
a 4'11" Raider Rich could fucking throw the could throw the fucking football better than these motherfuckers. A 4'11" quarterback and Raider Rich could throw the football better than these motherfuckers. And he was born back in the 30s. He was ground into prohibition time and shit. This motherfucker can still sling it better than these motherfuckers and shit.
Call him Sammy Ball.
And here we are. We bring it in the regular season here. Yeah, you know, you're thinking that maybe things are going to be fine. You know, he's been quiet. You know, he's got the kid coming on the way and all that good stuff. Man, nigga. You looking around, Robinson, but nigga. I mean, where do I begin? Business decisions?
We'll take it back a little further than that, all the way to the beginning, where supposedly it was as recently as far back as last season, according to, I'm trying to remember if it was Jordan Schultz or the
Yeah.
article that Ian Rappaport wrote for NFL.com. But his camp had approached the Raiders about a trade, but didn't demand it as far back as last season. He was, as I referenced earlier with the bait and switch. You look at what happened with Derek. First, you got rid of Derek, who was a primary factor in recruiting him to come to the Raiders.
Yeah.
Uh, the year that they had, and then you look at him being shipped off with no replacement. Jimmy G was not the guy. Then you dump the coach halfway through the season, and then you go to a four-string quarterback who had never been the guy anywhere, and he went out. And before that, you subjected him to Brian Hoyer as well, who was equally terrible.
I mean, we already hit all that. But
Absolutely, but
let's add
backstory.
towards the season because it's not just that shit. When you lose who was your leading rusher of the NFL one season ago, that also played a part. As much as some folks have some ill way and stop looking at it as a fan, but look at it as on a business standpoint. You losing Josh Jacobs really did come back and it bit motherfuckers on the ass right here. Big time. And that also was another nip at Davante. Again, you trying to keep things in place. You want things to work and go forward. That's why he was all for going with AP. So you we got AP. We got most of the guys that's still on the defense. We got most of the guys that's still on offense. Why can't we keep my running back? So when you look at that shit, that played a factor as well. Come down the line, we get the draft season. Like I said earlier, God damn, you really did rich like that? Damn. Come the draft season, you don't get a fucking quarterback. Not one. See, that's the thing. Not fucking one. You don't even go in the second round and get a quarterback. The third round. At least then you could have at least got one of those guys, but you didn't. You didn't make an effort to trade up. So we're getting there. We're getting there. So now we get to the off season. Tay ain't showing that much. Again, kid coming in. But again, Tay not feeling it.
Nope.
At all. Like I say, when you bullshit on the situation of not getting a quarterback, and for some of you guys say, oh, we didn't need it. We got Aiden. Oh, he's down for Aiden. Bro, look, he's not going to try to put down a young kid like Aiden O'Connell and think that he's, hey, I ain't going to shit talk this kid. The kid, he's got a good heart. He did everything he could when he had to come in because he got thrown into the fire. So I will give him some support, you know? But let's be fucking real. I need me a quarterback that you guys are bringing in for the future. No, he was not.
Or J.J. McCarthy, for that matter.
No.
On full well once they got rid of Kirk.
But again, we're coming to the age of the prima donna wide receiver that will complain. They in their 30s.
bro. This ain't nothing new.
So you looking at now Jerry Rice, he didn't really do that shit now. So you looking at remember Antonio
Marvin,
Brown at that age complaining. You can go back to Terrell Owens at that age range complaining. Chad Johnson complaining. Shall I continue? Those are some of your top, and don't get me wrong, they're your top wide receivers, but at that age, they're complaining. They don't want to deal with fucking hospital balls and shit. And then you had the way of convincing your other receivers in the group that this ain't it. Sometimes what's best is keep some shit to yourself. Now, don't get me wrong. When we're all in certain jobs, we tend to try to hold our tongue. But when you got the new young fellas coming in, we be like, listen here, motherfucker, this what the fuck that really be going on over here, man. Don't get all fucking happy and bundle of joy and shit. That's what the fuck happened, okay? Business decisions. Robinson, would you like to go into this?
business decisions. Business decisions was in reference to, I believe it was practice and something
Mm.
that happened in practice in terms of speaking to the other players about being smart and not risking injury. And it's one thing to be in the business of yourself and not give 100% if that's what you because you don't want to be someplace. I get it. Shit happens all the time. I'm not gonna sit here and act like I'm better than anybody else, but shit happens all the time. But when you start in telling other players that, you're starting to become a have an impact that some would deem cancerous away from the mission that the head coach is trying to put forth. And at 2-2, as I saw most of you in the chat are aware of, the Raiders are in prime position to continue with the season and make it and continue to build on this year. Does it look like they're going to do it? It's really hard to say. They beat another playoff worthy defense in the Cleveland Browns. They beat a playoff worthy defense in the Baltimore Ravens. They've lost to Carolina and they lost to the Chargers. So it's an any given Sunday kind of deal for them. They can either win or lose depending on how they execute and their attention to detail and preparation for the game. And going, most importantly, effort. That is one thing that Antonio Pierce had guaranteed us from the start is that people were going to play with max effort. Everyone who has shown that they were not going to play with max effort has been shown the door with the start of Marcus Peters.
Or they've been benched.
Or they've been benched.
Or I'll put it like this. Or they were a healthy scratch. If you like to go back and look at who was the healthy scratch this past Sunday. And no, I'm not talking about Davante. I'm talking about your tight end.
Michael Mayer.
Michael Mayers has not been a good blocker. Michael Mayers was literally a healthy scratch. And no, Crosby is really not next because he plays at maximum effort. See, like I said, Crosby wants to be here, but Crosby was fucking hurt. I'm sorry. When you got a fucking boot taped up with your fucking cleats, and you trying to be like, you trying to be the Iron Man, bruh? This ain't the 90s no more, bruh. You got to sit out and rest, my guy.
Man was playing in a leg cast. That's what that shit looked like. Was a whole
it was about like a leg. It was about like an ankle cast. Like they had it like redesigned. It looked like it was. I think it was one of like the 3D print casts that they got now. But anywho, Um, nah, Max ain't somebody that you're gonna look at business decision on this list right here because Max has always been someone that has been all in, and he definitely did have full support with AP.
For sure. There was also the OTAs that he didn't show up for. There's also been talks of excuse me, how of not playing in preseason games, and dare I say, embellishing on injury in order to not have to play, because I remember a situation where it became public knowledge and in the media that he wasn't going to play. He didn't play in the preseason, or didn't believe that he needed to, after his head coach had said everybody was playing. And
Real quick, sliding back to what Dutch Masters running down on the comments. This was more like your ass is getting benched. Get your ass together. If you not in it here, then you gonna go. But if you want to be in it and you want to get shit together, let's go. The problem is, I don't blame Michael Mayer for feeling a certain way because you came in, you were drafted high, playing tight end here, and then all of a sudden they bring in another tight end. I completely do understand. I would feel a certain way. They might not. I'm gonna. And you're gonna hear this. They're not gonna say that shit. They probably might have him come up to the podium tomorrow and speak on some shit, but he ain't gonna say it. It's common sense. But in this whole situation here, I hope he stays. I don't think he will be traded. But again, there can be a lot of moving parts coming up. As like I said this past week. 1 second. I didn't mean to cut you off, brother. Proceed.
anyway, so there's been questions about his injuries, if he was dog basically dogging games. Let's call it what it is. I don't need to beat around the bush. He faking injuries to not have to play. And there's a belief and a feeling amongst those with the team that he quit on him. And we've talked about all the reasons why this was not necessary, why we could empathize and sympathize with what it is that he's had to go through with the Raiders, how this hasn't been ideal. They paid him handsomely to go out and do exactly what it is that he did for him. The long and the short is that he no longer wants to be here, and feels as though he can do better elsewhere, because he is on pace to have the worst year of his career, despite having to play an extra game for, I believe, the second time now.
Yeah, second.
So this will be his second season with 17 games, and he's still on pace for the worst year of his career by far. And for a guy who's trying to hit the Hall of Fame, he's not going to get there with years like this. He got to get out of here in order to chase greatness someplace else. Now, is he going to get a ring? That remains to be seen. But personal greatness is the mission of his, and that's what he aims for. But to your point about the tight ends, Mayer's had some blocking issues. I like what he's done in the receiving game. Personally, I think they should be lined up in the ace, or potentially the double tight on one side, perhaps a wing as well. And you should use them, bring one in motion, and just kind of and work them off each other. Especially now that you no longer have Adams out there, so you'll see probably less three receiver sets and more double tight double receivers.
I'm gonna be real. I would also add in technically speaking, you could have used them this past weekend. Because seeing Andrews Pete out there, Jesus Christ. Oh,
That was frightening. I know
God.
why. I know why he was out there, but it was frightening nonetheless. And he was just a tight end and still missed the blocks. I mean, if you can't get there as a guard or tackle, then you probably the tight end really does not gonna matter either.
Mm. But yeah, in all seriousness, man.
There's some bad blood there, and all of this happened. All of this really came to a head. The practice that he declared himself, either the practice that he declared himself injured or the practice after on Friday. I'm trying to remember which it was.
So it was after this past practice.
No, so there was something that happened back further, not just this practice, but from what I was told, there was a heart to heart conversation, either in the film room or someplace else between the player and coach, and from whatever the result of that conversation was is what has brought us to where we are today.
So in other words, somebody more or less, it was more or less actually after that practice, somebody he decided to walk off. He decided to walk off, and you got your head coach chasing after you. Now, mind you, we've all grown up, or like you've all played for a team and shit. You walk away from your fucking coach, and they trying to talk to you. You know how fucking disrespectful that shit look?
Hey, if you've had enough, you've had enough.
I mean, but still, you walking from another grown man and he trying to have a deep conversation with you. I mean, what the fuck?
I mean, usually you have confrontation after that. Maybe even engage in fisticuffs. I'm not saying that's what happened. I'm just saying in my lifetime and experiences, as those are usually the events that happen one after another.
I mean, that's true and all, but I mean, it's not like we have a screaming match going on. It was more like, hey, yeah, want to talk, bro? Come on, let's talk. Come on. But yeah, homeboy went out after that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's about right. Sounds about right, doesn't it?
I would say so.
I'm looking at his comment right there. That sounds just about similar to that.
What about CO?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
In other words, there's some things you got to keep your mouth shut on.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
So, in the meantime, moving forward, now that the whole the timing of this is pretty weak. Regardless of the he said, she said between what Adams has been through and what the teams had to deal with and what they're dealing with now, it's really it is what it is. But we're looking at moving forward. So far, from what I've heard, we've been in contact with NFC South teams and NFC East teams. The Jets and the Chiefs are supposed to be big players for his services. That's the best way to put it.
What's the best way of putting it? I mean, do you want me to be straightforward with it?
you better get a barf bag and find your Xanax. Get your
Hey, if
pitchfork,
you near a bridge,
blow torches,
if y'all want some tiki torches, go on and get them.
torches.
So there could be a possibility that
We'll be meeting at Tom and Mark's house.
for two first. I mean, shit.
All your, all yours.
I mean, shit. What can I say, you guys? Him going to Kansas City might be a strong possibility. And again, key word, possibility. Don't mean that this shit is happening, but it's a possibility that it does happen. And you look at two first.
It'll make them slower.
So I'm just saying, just be prepared for anything, you guys.
Yeah,
She,
because everything is on the table. It is 100% pure best offer. That is what it's going to be. Whoever comes up with the best offer will be the one that gets his services. Ideally, they want it first. You've seen them put out there looking for a second and a package, whether it be a player or perhaps another pick. And so that's what they're looking for. What they actually get remains to be seen.
And I wouldn't be shocked if he does go to New Orleans and part of a package deal. You might end up get. I would literally bang on the table and say, "Well, give me Olave." I wouldn't. I would ask for him and a draft pick because, hey, go play with your old brother again. Wouldn't shock me. But yeah, you said what it was. So that's what the North, one in the West, and two in the South from the NFC. And my dark horse, again, I would not be surprised heading to the AFC West, not AFC West, but NFC West. And that would be the Cardinals. So just get your edibles ready, whatever you need to help you get through this hard time when it hits. Why are we chasing offense when our offense is struggling? Go defense with linebackers and picks.
You still need points to win the game, my guy.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, that defense still held up. The problem is your offense is not going anywhere.
Anywhere.
If you look at majority of these games, who's holding up in like at much points I'm going to hold you up to is a field goal. That's that Raiders defense. But when your offense is not going, guess what they're doing? They're trying to hold. They're trying to hold. They're trying to hold. Because what? The offense can't get shit to click until near the end of the second quarter and then going into the third quarter where your defense is just fucking worn out. Come on. I really hope this. All I can say is count your fucking days, Raiders. If that fucking trade does happen, I'm done.
Hearing that a lot. Everybody says they're going to be done. Everybody says they're going to be out. But if you made it this long, you won't. You venting. I understand. May not buy some.
I mean, I'm venting. I'm just letting it out right now. But
to be known.
I mean, do I really?
That's what we're
I mean, do I really give a shit? Do I honestly really give a shit? No, because the Raiders are not my every fucking day life. This is a business. Business decisions will happen whether we like it or not. Fans can get up all angry, get tiki torches, and be running up to the stadium or running up to team headquarters like Dr. Death or what the motherfucker's name was, because they don't even call that motherfucker Dr. Death. Well, the little short motherfucker that be thinking he can dance and all that shit. He going up to team headquarters and just holding protest signs and saying this is bullshit. We deserve better. We gonna hear this shit.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Raider fan, Raider Nation, we damn sure deserve better. But the thing about it, bro, I'm not gonna let this shit ruin my motherfucking day. I got too much shit to worry about.
Yes, sir. Too much shit that borders that is.
Raiders don't pay my motherfucking bills, but y'all technically do. When you go to them fucking games and shit.
Mm-hmm. Pay their bills, at least to say the least. But
I mean, everybody.
this is how you're going to fight back, because this is taking this number right here and driving that number back down until you start seeing some success with the team, some
Yeah.
better decisions, some playmakers, some points, some wins, some championships, some divisions. That this is where you're going to make your impact, and let your money do the talking for you. But everybody, all of Raider Nation deserves better than seeing where we are right now with your star players constantly wanting to leave because you can't get shit together. Even though we are in the midst of the hunt right now, 4 games into the season, heading into week 5 against the Denver Broncos. And with that, we can make this transition that I've been waiting to make from the beginning of this show with the demon of death in the background too. It is a victory Tuesday. We did win on Sunday. And if there was ever any doubt about the selfishness of a person, let's just go and show you that the decision to get traded overshadowed the team victory without him.
Yeah, they did win without
him.
Matter of fact,
20 to
pull this up.
16. You saw rushing touchdowns from your wide receivers. We saw some trickeration. We saw an offensive coordinator who finally got out of his own way and got some help in the running game and went back to some blocking systems that had success with the group of guys that he had. And things were looking great. This game almost got put away up until the time that Zamir White fumbled the football one more time. I gave up a fumble 6 by holding that ball like a sack of bread.
You know, they went to the one thing that's been the bread and butter of the Raiders over the years. Power gap. Power man. Ah, yeah, he did speak highly of Getsy. Yeah.
Sure did.
Ah,
All the scheme like the back of his hand. This, that, and the third. His problem is that the quarterback didn't. And so his knowledge of the scheme didn't help him very much with somebody who couldn't get him the ball. And then when he did get him the ball, he was kind of 50-50 on bringing it in because on now we had talked you and I off air about drops. You want to know how many drops he has currently, according to Pro Football Reference? 8. That's the most in his career.
Oh, you talk about Adams?
Adams, 3 games into the season, 3 games, not 4, because he
Hold
didn't
up.
play the
They got him at 8.
8.
Shut up. Well, let's take a dive in because I'm actually curious.
If he blew up the practice, it wasn't
Yeah.
for blow up at the practice. So it was a
No, no, no,
conversation.
no, no, no. That was last year. That was last year. Yeah.
Was it last year?
Yeah, that was
No,
last year.
it was last year.
Yep. They got him as 1 for this year.
For this year?
Yep.
Hmm.
I remember I told you the bad throws come from the motherfucker with the
Throwing it into triple coverage and double coverage and
yeah.
all that shit. Yeah.
No, last year was 8, which is actually kind of understandable. But then again, like I said, the motherfucker's not going from hospital balls. So I mean, I understand that part. Yeah, he has 1. Y'all want to bet on it? Come on, want to bet with me?
Bet him.
If you actually want to bet with me, winner gets your soul.
Yeah.
I dare somebody bet with me right there. He got 1. Shit. Terrible, man. It's not been good.
Start.
But anywho, I mean, like,
Yeah, we were answering this question. And thank you for your donation, my boy. Appreciate you.
sorry about that. I'm not looking at it. Okay.
So I'll say this as late as blanketly as I can. I'm gonna tell you what I heard. I'm not there. I don't know that man's heart like that. I don't know what his mentality was going like. But from what I've heard, say he was playing the role.
that, and if I do recall, your ass can get fined.
For what?
Ah, shit. Let me call my NFL rule book.
Yeah, there's a lot.
And I'll tell you that I've seen some petty shit because it goes back to shit, even the Browns. Browns had the guy that was getting disgruntled and he didn't even show up. And the team had fined him. So I'm gonna tell you this shit. He did play the role, and sometimes you need to.
There you go. You said it best. Still his
Yeah.
brother on the team. He just don't fuck with AP.
Ooh, this shit funny, bro.
Leave it at that. Like I said, I'm not there. I don't know that man's heart. I don't know what's going through his mind. I'm. Your guess is as good as mine.
A lot of shit can change. A lot of shit can happen.
This has been a crazy day. There's been a lot of stuff that's come at us today, all over the place. Some slanted, some not. But it's a mess. It was a mess. I had hoped. Yeah, I hope that it can be resolved, but until the head coach and the players start talking, it looks like that's just not going to happen.
I mean,
And
the head coach and the players are already talking right now.
oh, they started talking again.
Oh, you know it. You know
I'm
the
talking,
head coach and play,
I'm
bruh.
talking the play, not the
Oh,
players.
the play. Okay. In all honesty,
And I think that ship has sailed.
if it did happen, that's a miracle from God.
Yeah.
But the one person that I wouldn't be shocked to step in on this situation is the one that sits up top. But I will also make note of this shit.
Yep.
And that needs to be remembered.
Nobody is bigger than the Shield. That's why they don't retire jersey numbers.
That is true.
But we got off track talking about the victory again, so we'll bring it back all the way back. This offense lacking Davante Adams, the quarterback that we all hope and dream of, beat its second playoff defense in 4 weeks.
Yeah.
And yes, Myles Garrett was in and out and hit or miss on the field, given what he could. They didn't have Max Crosby at all, so I don't feel bad for him. They went out and they were taking it to Cleveland. If it wasn't for that fumble 6 on Zamir White, they would have probably been down 20.
It would have been 20-10.
Would it be a 20-10? Yeah, it would have been
Yeah.
20 to 10, and they were rolling.
Yeah.
Unanswered points. In 4 possessions, I believe.
But again, this is where it comes back to your offense still ain't that. It still ain't that great.
They managed to put together just enough to get it done. The defense showed some remarkable improvement from what we saw last week. We saw the emergence of young Tyree Wilson, who finally showed flashes and displayed what it is that he could truly do once they stopped asking him to contain, and mush rush off the edge so that you held the quarterback in the pocket instead of chasing the quarterback like he did from the strong side of the formation. We also got treated to Isaiah Polamau, and he's been a guy that we've watched for a while now and expected to do good things. And now, finally, having been given the opportunity, we saw just a little bit of what he was capable of. He got a sack. He got close to picking off a pass in the end zone. He was out there doing his thing all the way around, and we are in good hands with him moving forward. I like his game, and I hope that he continues to blossom and he plays his way off the bench forever.
Yeah.
But other than that, I'm done. You got anything else, Phil?
Yeah. Ain't got a thing to add in, bro. I've said my piece. I know you said yours. Motherfucker, I said you guys can just sit there, happy edibles. How are we gonna get through this whole fiasco? But we still got a game to play on Sunday. Oh shit. Yeah, we still got a game to play. And yes, I swear to God, if I see fucking Luke Masterson starting at linebacker again, I'm gonna lose my fucking mind. You funny, bro. You funny. Cause you feel the same fucking way dealing with fucking Masters and that linebacker, bro.
Oh man, that's a bad thing. I at this point I'd be happy to see Gainer or Bernay. They couldn't possibly do any worse than what you've seen Masterson do. Let me run through these. Anything, man?
Let's see. Tank for Ward, Tank for Sanders. Oh, that's just K losing his fucking mind.
Yeah,
Uh, when do
left
y'all think a trade will happen? To be honest, I'm giving it 72
soon.
hours.
Soon.
72 hours.
Soon.
Within that 72-hour window.
Snowden is somebody who actually deserves some more burn, and I'm glad that you brought that up, and I saw that he's been playing very well. Acceleration, size and length is no diddy is his game. He's 6'7". He comes screaming off the edge. This is now the second week in a row that he's been in on a sack. He's got a half sack both times, but really Christian Wilkins stole his sack against Carolina because he was there first, and he did 3/4. He got him 3/4 of the way, and Wilkins finished him off. Snowden, with opportunity, has continued playing as well as you saw in the preseason, and he's done it now against the ones. And so it's a beautiful thing when you see a team that's looks like they're going to the depth and preaching the next man up actually show up and play next man up.
Yeah. I I wouldn't be shocked to see him back in the lineup this weekend and making an impact. The
That's right.
Mad Stork and the Mad Snowman. I like that.
Yeah, it's funny. So he got a name as the Snowman, and when I was listening to Chris Wilkins talk about him, yeah, it was snowing in there. I was like, what the fuck is he talking about? Like, oh shit, he talking about Snowden. That's what's going on.
If Diablo is back and ready to go, by all means, I'm gonna tell you this shit. As much as people have their problems with Diablo, yeah, he has some ups and downs. Diablo knows how to get these players lined up properly because the last two games he's been out, they've been running around with their fucking head cut off.
Playing pinball, just bumping
Yep.
into shit and getting cardio for 60 minutes. So you got to do better than that. Chessa, I mean, he
He
didn't.
wasn't that. He's not that bad.
He'd get
He
back.
came out of. He got
Yeah, he'd
drafted
get back.
from Jacksonville.
Yeah, that's where he went. From the Bayou to Duval.
See how that window usually lasts for guys trying to get out of Jacksonville at that time frame. But I mean, he did pretty good. Getting activated, he came out. I didn't see no problem with him. I think he probably been misused. So shit. If you get something good out of him, by all means keep him.
Nah, Diablo be lost, but he gives good direction to everyone else. Damn, that's fucked up.
I mean, hey,
Hey, if you say that about Diablo, I would love to see your comments on Masterson because if you need a completion, just find Luke and throw to the guy immediately closest to him, and you can get at least 15 to 20 yards on every single throw.
I seen that man give up about what 4 or 5 first downs in that game. The
This
wide
was
receiver, the
go ahead
running back, wide receiver, they weren't even fucking scared of him.
at all. I have yet to see him tackle somebody by himself. But Trayvon Moore, you know what, bro? I'm going to be real with you. I expected great things from him based off of what I saw his game looking like at the preseason, and it has yet to materialize. He got his interception off a tip
Tip
pass,
play.
and so I'm happy about that. That's cool. But for the rest of the season so far, it's been I've expected more than what I've seen.
And yeah, I know some people are gonna say, well, we're going to what, the third game, fourth game. I mean,
Quarter of the season's up already. Should have
yeah.
seen something. And you saw an interception, so that is something.
But again, I'm gonna say this:
Or
that defense, you're still getting pressure. That's the problem. Raiders defense is still giving pressure, but when it comes to a lot of these plays, I'm seeing the middle of that field getting fucked up. Now, granted, you did keep Cleveland under 200 yards passing, but again, too many opportunities you leave on the field. You got to counter on that shit. I hope they can do that this week. Take advantage of a Bo Nix and not be letting motherfuckers get a window of opportunity to get back in the game. If you know you can send him 3 and out, you know you can shut the running game down, and you can shut down him trying to be able to get a pass off. You need to say, fuck it, we got to get a turnover here. Your mindset now is getting fucking turnovers going forward. Overall, with this fucking offense, whatever changes were made during that game, I need to see it going into this following week. So that means that running game, something we got to get going, and we got to get this passing game going as well. Because I'm gonna be real here, you throwing only 116 yards ain't gonna cut it.
well, we're gonna see. We are going to see. So far, it's been working, but we're gonna have to do some things. We definitely got to involve Bowers more often than they have been. I will say again, because we got so caught up with Davante, Jackson Powers Johnson was incredible in his first start. He breathed life into this offensive line. He got up into the second and third levels. Said he was a force, so much so that the refs were talking to the coach about how aggressive his player was and how much overkill he was doing, which I don't have a problem with. I hope he keeps doing it.
I
Uh,
told you, he a nasty motherfucker.
yeah, he is, and that's exactly what they need. Said anytime the Raiders have been good, they've had a bunch of nasty motherfuckers on the offensive line that were too tough for the defense.
To be honest, yes. But you know who I'm gonna bench? Miller. I'd move Mumford to the left side and keep Glaze on the right side.
I would love for you to tell me who's going to take Cole Miller in the trade right now, please. Please tell me Cole Miller in the trade because I would do it.
I would do that in a heartbeat, but
Same mentality, same type, same look, body, similar body style and size. Yeah, I could see that. So he's that crazy without literally being that crazy.
I see Jason said something about Tyreek McAllister. We probably find out tomorrow where he is.
Yeah, that's Wednesdays usually when they start with the injury designations.
Nah, I'm not insane. Hope Miller has been whiffing too many fucking times. Someone that has played offensive line, that shit doesn't make no fucking sense. He has lost a couple of steps.
Giving up 5 sacks so far, which is the most in his career. 4 weeks into the season.
I feel like it's more than that, bro.
I think it was 5 in week 3. It may be more.
What am I looking at? 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 God dang. Oh
But
no, here. Fuck that. I do it better for you guys. Y'all want to know how many sacks Colton Miller has given up? 6. 6 motherfucking sacks. And you motherfuckers got the nerve to tell me I'm insane? Motherfucker, y'all insane. This motherfucker is giving up not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, but 6. 6. And you motherfuckers that say he's elite need to be slapped.
that's on pace to give up 24 sacks this season, just in case you didn't know.
Oh, shut the fuck up this injured shit. If he's injured, why the fuck is he even out there? He
Well,
already had his surgery. He was already cleared to go. Don't give me this bullshit.
bullshit.
He was fucking up week 1, fucking up week 2, week 3, look, come on, man.
We're on week 5, bro. So you gonna get your quarterback killed getting him back in game shape. That's not the argument you want to run with, my boy.
I don't drink Mad Dog, bruh. This is Johnny Walker, bruh. Okay? Mad Dog is for peasants.
You broke bitches. That's why. That's why he's out
No
there.
shit. Yep. Motherfucker shouldn't have been out there the week before. So if that was the case, week 2, he shouldn't have been out there. Why didn't you make the switch? He is scared to get his fucking job taken. I'm gonna tell you this shit. When Miller's ass was fucking hurt last season, that motherfucker, he was like, "Oh, I can come back." Mumford got hurt. Mumford can actually stay healthy. This is the first time he's actually been hurt. This is the first time he's gotten hurt. Nah, you just being a fan, Felipe, bro. Because Colt Miller, you giving up 6 sacks, and we haven't even hit fucking 5 games.
Yeah, bro, that's 24 sacks on the year on app.
The man was on the PUP list all through training camp, mostly through training camp. Got activated. They said, "Oh yeah, he passes physical. He's good to go." The fuck? 6 sacks?
That's a
6
lot.
fucking sacks?
That's a lot. That's a whole season's worth of sacks in 4 games.
Exactly.
That's crazy. Whether you think he's better or not, he certainly can't do no worse than 6 sacks.
Bruh. I take him at left tackle. And even when he did it during preseason, he was pretty damn good. Matter of fact, even the following year, when he stepped in, he was good. I had no problem with him playing left tackle. The only thing about it, we just didn't have a proper right tackle at the time. But you got Delmar Glaze out here playing right tackle. He did pretty good. Give your take on how Jacory Bennett is doing top 10 cornerback. I'll put him in about like 15 right now.
Yeah. You to be top 10, you got to start producing interceptions and potentially points. He's good. Yeah. He's breaking up passes left and right. I believe he is leading the league in PBUs, or right there, close to the top of the league in PBUs. And he's been an absolute gem for the Raiders this season.
Yeah. Fucking 6. Brother,
That's not gonna cut it.
what's that, brother?
That's you should not be over here trying to throw on a cape for a man with 6 sacks in 4 games.
Like I said, if this was week 8, okay, maybe a sack again. I could, shit happen.
That's still a lot. Yeah.
6 fucking sacks within how many fucking games?
4.
4 fucking games?
That's almost 2 a game. That's too many. He gets paid a lot of money to make sure that does not happen, especially at that.
Yeah.
But before we get up out of here, we got 665 eyeballs on us. I want to thank each and every one of you for taking the time to watch this. I ask that you give us a like, subscribe, give us an unfiltered salute, and come back and give us an opportunity to entertain you guys again. You got any?
I ain't got that much. I know I'm a little scared if it hits 666. We had 664.
Yeah.